This is Easton J. Thomson. He has a book. It's The Song of the Broken. It's book one of the Sundering, right?
That's correct.
Now tell us a little bit about this.
Absolutely. So I have a pre-order copy here. So this is called Song of the Broken. It's a fantastic book. I have to be careful with certain words, so we'll be careful. But basically, it's about Ivar, who is a Viking, and he, because of some really unfortunate circumstances that happened in his life, regarding around his sister, he becomes aware of some really awful things happening to children, and he makes it his sole purpose to go and protect kids, and that's basically the book. So the book's way more complicated than that. If you guys like Game of Thrones, this is your book. This is your book. We do a lot of things with houses. We do a lot of things with barons. There's a whole country or whole kingdom called Tibalta, which is honestly a lot like Westeros in a lot of ways. But the world is absolutely massive. There's two stories that happen in this book. It's a big, thick book. Okay, so it's 300,000 words. There's two stories. The main story is Ivar's. There's 7 parts in the book. So parts 1, 3, 5, and 7 are Ivar. But then you have parts 2, 4, and 6, which is the main character Baldwin. And Baldwin lives in Tibalta, which is a lot like Westeros. Imagine him being like a berserker or like a Stark. He is a lot like, as far as his build, not his personality, but like his build, he's a lot like the Mountain, like 8 feet tall, big guy, and he was hired by the king to help him win a war. Baldwin is a very interesting story because he comes about in a different way where with him, he is fighting against I would call them like the Lannisters, the English, the Romans. Like he's fighting against the Romulians, and that's what they're called in the book. Is they're called Romulians. And while he's leading these battles against the Romulians, he uncovers some sinister things that the Tibaltan government is doing. And during this whole war, he is opposing the Tibaltan government on one hand, but he's leading the people to resist the invasion on the other hand. And he gets stuck in the middle, and it's kind of crazy. So that's the two stories that you hear about in this book.
I was really fascinated because so the children are getting abused, correct, in one of the stories, and the other guys try to save the children. Yes.
Yeah, 100%. You hear a lot more about that with Sir Baldwin or Baldwin's story. He does a lot more of the rescuing, opposing the abuse. He is. You see a ton more with his story. Ivar's story is way different because it's way more personal. With him, it's his sister, and he didn't grow up thinking about these atrocities. It wasn't really a thought on his mind. He, didn't even really know it was a thing happening around his kingdom, happening around other people's kingdoms, until it was affecting his sister, and that's when he realized this is not okay. This is not happening. Not on my watch. And it becomes, it's a very violent book. It's very, very violent. So you get lots of satisfying death scenes, epic battles. So there's an epic battle in this book at the very end. And I did a word count, compared it to the Lord of the Rings word count when they did Return of the King and the Siege of Minas Tirith. And mine is just a few thousand words more. So, but you get the same epic feel, and that's kind of why I bring that up. Is that's how epic it gets. So,
where did you get the inspiration for this?
Oh, that's a long story. I've always liked Vikings. I think Vikings are cool. I'm Norwegian, so my family comes from Norway, Denmark. I've got a lot of Scandinavian blood in me. I grew up hearing about stories of my ancestors and where we came from and all that. So I've always liked the theme. When it comes to why I wrote the book, I wanted my book to have meaning. I wanted my book to help people grow and have a lasting impact on them. And I thought, how cool would it be if we could help modern day men remember what it really means to be a man. And what it really means to be a man, to fulfill your fatherly responsibilities, is to be a protector. That's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to protect the weak, protect the innocent. You know, when somebody needs to go into danger, that needs to be you. That's your responsibility. And I thought, how better to show that than to show that as the perspective of a brother and the perspective of a father who are protecting their children and other people's children.
That is so cool. How many books are going to be in the series?
So this specific series is called Song of the Broken. Book 1 is The Sundering. There's going to be 4 books. And then there are 7 series that I have outlined.
Oh,
So-
wow. Okay. So it's going to be a whole universe.
Oh, it's a whole universe. It's a whole universe.
And is this all you're going to be writing, or are you going to break out and do anything other genre just to take a break?
Well, I mean, the whole universe kind of fills a lot of the genres already. I mean, I'm a big fan of 40K. So if anybody has ever read 40K, 40K is pretty awesome. It's like with Warhammer 40K, it's a whole genre of sci-fi, basically. It's like fantasy, but it also turned into sci-fi. And they did a really good job. They did a really, really good job blending magic with blending science, which makes it so nice. With Song of the Broken, we're going to see 4 books. The 4 books are really important because this is your staple. This is your foundation to understand the universe. Book 1 is the cornerstone of that foundation. There's a huge epic magic system that I could talk on for hours with how deep it goes and all the different cultural things that play into it. Like we go into, for the Viking magic, we go into Futhark runes, which are the runes of the Norse. But there's Elder Futhark, Younger Futhark. Younger Futhark is the Viking runes. Elder Futhark is more Germanic. So in my book, we use the Germanic runes. There's more of them. They have meaning. And you just touch on that a little bit, but that's just one kingdom. That's just one corner of the world. And this is only one planet. There are other planets out there. So I'll give you, for example, there's a race of people who are elevated. They're kind of like celestials from Marvel, and they're called Rodari. And there are Rodari in this book, but nobody knows they are who they are. So yeah, maybe you could piece it together if you've read the book, like one of my beta readers, and then they see all of my lives, they could probably piece it together. But yeah, so it's a big thing.
I love that. So it's fantasy and sci-fi, correct?
This book is only fantasy. The
This one's only
universe will eventually have some that go into sci-fi, but I really need to make sure that people understand the universe first. And so we're going to do that with fantasy. So the first 4 books, fantasy.
Love that. And that's what's interesting about being an indie author is you can branch in and have like that bastardization of the genres. Like you don't have, because when you go trad publishing, they want it to be, it's fantasy and that's all you write. Or they want it to be this. You can't like grab a little bit from here and grab a little bit from there and put it all together.
100%. Yeah, you get a lot more freedom as an indie author. You are your own boss. And that, I think, really plays into the creativity that you're allowed to express. I mean, that's the whole point of writing. The whole point of writing is expression. And you want to express a thought, an idea. You have a story in your head, and you need to have the freedom to tell it.
Love it. If you guys have any questions, make sure you're putting them in the chat for Easton. We will ask them. This is your live too, guys. Don't forget. Don't forget. So we always like to ask, who are you reading right now?
Who am I reading right now? So I think it's Bernard Cornwall. That's his name, Bernard Cornwall. Do you know him?
Yeah.
I love him. I actually just discovered him, which is great. I just finished The Last Kingdom. I'm right in the middle of the book too, and I'm just loving it.
I haven't read him, but I was a librarian, so I'm very familiar. I know a lot of stuff because people would request and stuff. So I came to know him a little bit better because I had 2 people who would just read all they read was him.
Oh yeah, he's great. He does a really good job. Book 1 is Last Kingdom, and it talks about Uhtred. And Uhtred is actually kind of a funny book, and I like that because there's a lot of morbid things that happen in medieval history, and there's a lot of death, right? There's a lot of sickness. There's a lot of that's not very humane, or that's probably not the best thing to do. A lot of crimes that aren't really crimes yet that happen, but he treats them with dark humor approach, and he actually writes it like Uhtred's writing a journal. So it's like Uhtred's telling you the story from the past, and I really like that. I think that's really good. It's a good book. I definitely recommend it.
Your wife says your book is the same balance of humor and horror.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So there's humor in your book as well?
Oh, there's tons. There's tons. So I'll tell you a little bit of some hints here. Not spoilers, but hints. So Baldwin, I talked a little bit about him earlier. He does not remember anything. So he has a really funny backstory that nobody knows, and he doesn't remember it. So what's really funny though is during his branch, during his story arc, he meets a few people who actually know who he is, and they don't want to say anything about it because they know why, they know what happened, they know who he was in the past, and they're like, better just leave that alone. I don't really want to make that connection right now. So there's some humor that goes into that. There's different kingdoms. I'll explain this really fast. So we, like, if anybody understands Lord of the Rings, you have different kingdoms like across, there's Middle Earth, there's the elves, there's all these other things. In Westeros, you have like the Riverlands, you have like the North, you have, the Lannisters to the west. Like you have these different kingdoms, right? Well, in this book, you have different kingdoms, but the whole of them is called Abathraxia. And in Abathraxia, you have 7 kingdoms. So there's the Frostheim, which is the north, that's the Vikings. You have Tabalta, it's like Scotland. You have Glenshire, they're like the Irish, right? Then you have Thraxia, you have Romuel, you have Kazaran, you have Ryujima. You have a lot of different kingdoms. The people from Glenshire, they're very Irish inspired, but they're very witty. Just by cultural standpoint, they tend to be very witty and humorous, sharp, fast. So Baldwin and this lady from Glenshire named Arwen, who does not like Baldwin at all, they get into a lot of bantering arguments. So a lot of people really think that's really funny because Baldwin tends to be the kind of brute that gets what he wants when he wants it, and he kind of forces that. Whether you agree with him or not, that's just the way it's going to be because he has the strength to do it. And it's really funny because Arwen is like this dainty little princess from Glenshire, and she just disarms him all the time with her tongue, like just totally disarms him, beats him down, and gets him to question his thoughts. And it's just the funniest thing in the world. So she totally counters him all the time. It's great.
Your wife says Irish plus elves plus hobbits.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
So who did you grow up reading when you were a kid, or did you read as a kid?
I read a lot. So the 2 biggest things that I loved the most when I was reading as a kid was I loved the Odyssey. So they had a kid's version that I just inhaled. I loved the story of Odysseus and like how he and his men kept trying to solve problems, and they'd have one thing after another thing after another thing, and they wouldn't give up, and it just got worse and worse and worse until they finally made it back. I thought that was the coolest. I really loved those books.
That's awesome.
In high school, I read Aragon a lot. That was like my go-to. I liked Aragon.
That's a good one. Dragons and things like that. So
pretty much.
Yeah. Dragons in your story yet, or no?
Book 3.
I figured. I had an inkling.
Yep. You're right. No. Yeah, dragons actually come in book 3. So dragons are an interesting thing. So the way the universe was created in my book is actually a lot like it was created in the Silmarillion, meaning the god or the Allfather created it through songs. And so when you look at the way that he created it, there's 21 songs. There's 7 songs of destruction, 7 songs of creation, 7 songs of transformation. Now, the men of this world called Urath, they fought, they killed, they were terrible. And 7 kings came together among them and said, we need to stop because there are other things out here that are destroying us. And if we can't stand together as a human race, we will be destroyed. And they made an oath. And when that oath was made, 7 stars fell from heaven, and those are dragon eggs. And the kings of men had their bloodlines transferred with the blood of dragons. and that gave them access to the songs of creation, destruction, transformation. Now, what's really cool is, and this is kind of some spoiler stuff, but it's not really, because it's history and you kind of learn that in the book. So something terrible happened 1,000 years ago, and it's talked about a little bit in the book, but it's hinted at, because you have to understand, like, this is a really big story arc, right? You have a little one, these first 4 books is kind of like it feels like a lot, but it's really just a little one. The big one is the 28 books, and I'm planting the seeds for that now. Something really bad happened 1,000 years ago, and all the high lords disappeared. Dragons disappeared, everything. Now, in this book, every kingdom has their own version of what's called dragon-blooded. So these are children that have the blood of the high lords because they're descended from the high lords. This is a lot like Mistborn, if you've read Mistborn. They have the blood of the nobles. Now, they could be bastards, right? They could be not royals at all, because after 1,000 years, that bloodline gets scattered fast, right? Now, the blood awakens in a person. When the blood awakens in a person in this book, they have access to one song, and that is the song of transformation. So, for example, Frostheim, Vikings. When the when the blood of the dragon awakens in a Viking or in somebody from Frostheim, Northman, they get access to the song of the dragon, which is a song of transformation. Their skin becomes as hard as dragon scales. Their bones are as strong as dragon bones. They have the strength of a dragon, and they can breathe fire. When somebody from Glenshire has the blood of the dragon awaken from them, they become called druids, and they have the ability to change form into an animal of the sky, an animal of the earth, an animal of the ocean. And that actually is pretty deep too, because each animal says a lot about their personality, and I go into enneagrams a little bit there. And then, like, for Romuel, they have the song of change. So the Romuelians, they're called the Velkin. So when they have the blood of the dragon awaken in them, they call themselves Velkin, and because they have the ability to veil themselves from the world, they can change their form to match any other human that they want. In fact, they could make another human look different if they wanted to, using the song of change. So there are some sinister things that happen with that as well, and obviously there's misuse of magic. But that's just a little taste of, like, some of the deep magic in here. So
I love the world you're building. It's very intricate. It's not an easy world building that you're doing.
No, this is definitely advanced fantasy. It's definitely epic magic. It's very complex, but I'm determined to allow people to explore the fullness of the world. So what we're going to do is I have a lot of books planned. I really need to get this book out first, and I'm like trying really hard to not like put all my attention into the next book, but I got to get this book out first. So once this book's out, book 2 is going to come out really fast.
Is this one not released yet? Or I don't remember, yours is it released yet or not?
July 21st.
July 21st. So it's on pre-order on the 2-day shipper, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Pre-orders are open now. Okay. And anything pre-ordered from my website will be signed. So.
Yeah. Your wife said that's why it took so long to write, edit, and produce. Yes. Do you have a TikTok shop, or is it just going to be on that 2-day shipper?
Oh, TikTok shop as well. Yeah. So it'll be on TikTok shop when it's released, and you guys can buy it directly from there.
Perfect. And it'll be signed out of the TikTok shop?
Yes.
Trying to say that a lot right now because I get in trouble sometimes. I want to make sure we're saying we love the TikTok shop. The TikTok shop.
TikTok shop. TikTok shop. TikTok shop.
Exactly. They're being so really mean lately.
Yeah. No, I actually love TikTok shop because I make the most money on TikTok shop. So please, if you had to buy it anywhere, please buy it on TikTok shop or pre-orders. Pre-orders is the same.
Yeah. So you've got the pre-order on the 2-day shipper, and when he gets it in, it'll be on the TikTok shop. Siren, hey, level 20. TikTok shop once it's released, but signed pre-orders are also available. And the Schmeek and the Schmile.
Sneak and the Schmile.
Sneak and the Schmile.
Sneak and the Schmile. Yep.
Love that. Love it. So when you're writing, are you listening to music, or is it dead silent?
Oh, music, music.
With
Playlist.
words or just music or just
Depends.
instrumental?
It depends on this on the scene. So one of my favorite songs for Ivar is 45 by the Shinedown because with his childhood and his journey to adulthood, that song really encapsulates his life pretty well. Constantly facing danger, constantly self-doubt, constantly wanting to delete himself in some cases because of how hard things are for him. I also really like the Sound of Madness. So when you get to part 5, when Ivar is an adult and he's becoming a famous warrior because of some things that he does, the Sound of Madness really, really, explains his personality a lot. A really good song for, yeah, a good song for Baldwin is Thor. So there's actually, if you just go type in Thor in Spotify, that is Baldwin's song. He's, remember, he's 8 feet tall. He's a berserker living in Gibraltar, which is a lot like Scotland or the Riverlands, and he is just brutal. As soon as he gets his mind to something, he is just brutal. The good news is that he's chaotic good. So his alignment is chaotic good. Does that mean that he follows the rules? He doesn't know what rules are, but he does have his heart in the right place. He's really rough around the edges, but he does have his heart in the right place, and he gets there eventually. He just needs time. So
Now, do you have any plans to put this on audio?
Oh, it's already on audio. So the audiobook's finished. Yep.
So when is that? Is that going to release the same day?
Same day.
Wow.
And it is so good. It is so good. So we actually have a guy who reached out to us because he's like, I've got to do the audiobook for you. I've got to do it. And we interviewed him. He did a few snippets. I was so excited when I read him voicing Baldwin, and I was like, you got it. You got his voice. I didn't know how you did it, but you got it. And it's fantastic. So yeah, it'll be on Audible day one when it's released.
That is so awesome that you can do that. You have that done, and you're going to be able to do all of that, and you're getting it done. What's been your biggest challenge so far? Do you think as you're getting into this process?
Oh my gosh, this is the hardest project I've ever done in my life, but it is also the most rewarding. Definitely. Oh yeah, Kyle Snyder is the voice actor. He's a voice actor, and he did a great job. So Camriana is my wife.
I know she came in. She's like, I'm Easton's Mikey. Introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hardest part. There were some really challenging parts. I think the easiest part was writing the book, because that was the funnest part. That's the part where you get to just be by yourself. You get to have total freedom. You get to explore. You can take an idea and see where it goes, right? And you just kind of mold things together and see if it fits, right? Well, I think the hardest part would be editing was tough. It wasn't terrible. Me and Camriana are a really good team. She was really good at helping me sharpen things with like the way things are described, making sure it's clear for readers. My beta team was amazing too. I had a really big beta team. We had people from I have one who was from Iceland who helped me with accents. So that was a big blessing. I think the hardest part is the producing of the book. So things that, Camriana is just amazing with grammar and expression. She's really good at that. She's a phenomenal editor. Writing the book was easy. Producing the book, we didn't know what we were doing. So everything is like first time, right? So we didn't know what to expect. We just kind of went for it, and we learned from mistakes, but that's definitely been the hardest part, was making it an actual book, produced, put it together. Yeah.
Trish says your behind the scenes post is hilarious.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Are you talking about the one where I was smacked with the book? I think that's the one that just came out. Yeah. We did one where Camriana threw the book at me.
You said, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I'll go check it out. I'll definitely do it.
No, it's fun. No, the funny
also,
part
too, dancing videos. Oh, your wife says you've got dancing videos as well.
I'm not very proud of those dancing videos, but they work. It feels like a bear in a circus. That's how I feel when I do the dancing videos. But hey, like I'll do anything for kids. That's the cool thing too, is so just by purchasing the book on TikTok Shop, $1 from my profits are being donated to Lantern Rescue. So I have a partnership with Lantern Rescue. They go on missions to rescue children. And last year we donated $1,000, or just about $1,000 together. So with donations that came from my landing page, and then from purchases from TikTok Shop, not TikTok Shop, another backer site, we were able to raise about $1,000. So
Cool. Will $1 from your TikTok shop go then too?
Yeah.
Or okay, make sure.
Yeah.
But guys, if you're interested, starter kicks. Very nice, nicely done.
Starter kicks. Starter kicks is what I used. So,
but if you do buy his book in the TikTok shop when it comes available, $1 will go to help rescue children, guys. And that is something that's really dear to him. So definitely make sure you're doing that. Carrie, yeah, it's on pre-order right now.
yes,
Because it comes out July 17th, right?
July 21st.
Why do I have the date wrong? Jesus.
That's okay.
July 21st. And it's this one, guys. It's Song of the Broken. It's a chunker, as Mama would say. You know how she loves those chunkers.
It's a good book.
Oh, it's single space. Oh, it's
single space. We had to do we had to. It's
warning the quality. Yeah, probably I would see that, but it's so thick. Carrie says my birthday is in July. My new birthday present. I love it. Trish says she just pre-ordered. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Trish. Yeah, please pre-order. Please. That's actually the best thing you can do is that, because that money is going to push things through. So that'd be great.
Also, if you read the book, review the book.
Yes, please. On Goodreads. Yeah, we have a few reviews already from beta readers, which is fantastic. They've been phenomenal and left wonderful reviews. Very, very excited about that. It's like the favorite part of my day is that whenever I see a good review come through, I'm like, oh, what did they like? What did they like? So
Trish got you on Goodreads. That's awesome. So, Carrie says, will it be signed? If you get it from the TikTok shop when it comes out, it will be signed. But there's a Schmeek and a Schmio to pre-order signed copies, Carrie. So click on him, go to his thingy. You know what I'm talking about. You know, I got to be careful. Seriously, why do people bot review? I don't know.
No, I haven't had any. I know everybody gets bad reviews. So it'll happen.
I don't bad review. If I don't like a book, I don't like a book. I don't go on there and blast it. I will reach out to the author and let them know why, because if it's something I think they can fix.
I do think there's a particular group of people who really won't like this book, and that's probably for reasons, because they are probably the problem with the abuse, right? So those particular people will be active. I've already seen that on my page where they have their groups and they come and attack me in groups, but that just means I'm doing the right thing. That means I'm making a difference. If I'm getting their attention, then that means you're
doing the right thing, and you are on the right side of this, sir. They are not. 100%. So that's why I find so wonderful, and I'm so glad Mama D said, "Hey, you got to have this guy on." So I'm glad.
He's wonderful. No, I love Mama D. She's fantastic.
So hey, Daniel. So guys, again, pre-order. It's coming out July 21st. Pre-order over on the Schmeek and Schmio. It'll be available. Will it be available July 21st in the TikTok shop, or will you have to wait a couple of days?
It should be available on the 21st.
Okay, and then on the audio site, the audio book will be available as well. So big day on July 21st for Mr. Thomson here. I'm very excited for you.
Oh,
guys, so any other questions that you have for him before we let him go? He's been amazing, and your books sound good.
Thanks.
I'm glad people down here are going and ordering and are really excited, because that's what you need, and that's what's amazing about it. Did you ARC this at all?
I do have some ARC readers, yes, and some of them were able to. Obviously, not everybody, but some of them were able to get the review on there, which is great. That's
awesome. I get too many people ask me to ARC, and I had to start turning them down. I'm like, I don't have time. I'm sorry, I don't have time for it today. But I always tell them, come in my room. I got ARC readers for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Justice says it's awesome what you're doing. Way to go for the kids. Your wife says you need more ARCs. Oh, Jesus Christ. Daniel. Okay. What is your main character's shoe sizes? This is a Daniel thing. Go for it.
Large, very large. Probably, honestly, it's probably like a 22.
Trish says she'll
I'm
art.
not- Oh, good. Yeah, please arc. Please arc.
How do they
Yeah.
do that? Do they just DM you?
DM me on TikTok, and we'll get together. I'll respond, and we'll send you stuff.
Awesome. So guys, if you're interested in arcing for him, because you got time, because it's July 21st, you still got a lot of time to get that done.
Yes,
Just
please.
DM him, and he'll help you out, get a copy of it, so you guys can do it and help him with his reviews. As I said, if I don't like something, there's been times where I'm like, I DNF'd an arc, and I went to the author. I was like, hey, did AI write this? Because that's what it sounds like.
No, yeah. Definitely. Yes, this is not written by AI at all.
Oh, I know.
Took me 2
This
years,
one, this one, I'm pretty sure she had. Because, like, I know what it looks like when it is. And she was like, oh, and I was like, you need an editor. Go get an editor. I told her, you need an editor. It's not ready.
Yeah, I actually, so I used to work for Amazon a long time ago. I was a delivery driver. Not the best job in the world. It's good if you need it, but it's not like the best job in the world. Anyway, a lady there really liked books, and I told her I was working on my book, and she had her boyfriend had written an AI book about her. It was awful. It was so bad. It was
They're
so
awful.
bad.
I had a program, and I was like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what it would do, like what a fiction book would look like written by AI. And so now I know, because I did it just to see. And anytime I see that, I'm like, that's AI. I know. Because I used to joke that James Patterson had to be doing it. Because there's no way you turn out like that many books, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But I know he writes it all. It was my joke as a librarian. I'm like, books. James Patterson's gonna. You can always tell when it is. They're awful. Yeah, they're always awful. And they always like restart the story like every chapter, and that's like a main cue.
Yeah.
So
this is gonna challenge your comprehension, not your reading level as far as using really, really big words, but definitely comprehension. You have to pay attention. If you've ever seen the movie Tenet,
No.
seen the movie Tenet?
No.
Okay, so Tenet is one of those movies that it's not my favorite movie, but I will watch it because it's so complicated, because they play with time and time distortion, and they've unlocked this, like, I'll just call it a pocket universe where you can flip which way your clock is running. Yeah, so you're in the same room as somebody, but your clock is running backwards. So everything that's happening to you is happening backwards, but everything's happening to that person is happening forward. So they'll use a bow and arrow, they'll like do it backwards, and then they'll quiver it. It's like the weirdest thing. But that movie definitely challenges your ability to pay attention to details. I would say this book is very similar, not as abstract by any means, but definitely pay attention to details in this book, because the
my wife
details are there
says
for a reason.
Inception too. Like it's like Inception.
Yes.
Like Inception.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
All right,
like,
guys.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I wouldn't have written the book unless I wanted the book to be worth reading. It has to be worth your time and my time for putting it together. And to do that, it's got to be memorable.
I like that. I love that. So guys, again, July 21st, it comes out. It's going to be on the TikTok shop. It's going to be over on our favorite 2-day shipper. It's going to be over on Audible. So you can have those things. The TikTok shop will be signed copies. If you want to pre-order a signed copy, Schmink and the Schmile. If you do the Schmink though and the TikTok shop, is that the dollar goes to help kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you pre-order.
Pre-orders will do the same thing. Anything that comes through me and my Schmeek and my Schmile. Is that how you say it? Schmeek and my Schmile.
Schmeek and my Schmile.
Yeah, as long as you don't go like TikTok shop or Schmeek and my Schmile, as long as it comes to me, then you'll absolutely have that donation, which is great, because that means you read a book that, because I worked with survivors. I have several survivors that I did interviews with to make sure details were appropriate, and things are being handled carefully and tactful. Everything in this book is closed door, and it's meant to inspire, uplift, motivate, educate. But not only will you have the experience of seeing these things happen in real time, but you'll also already be comforted because you've already donated. So you've already made a difference just by doing that. So it's great.
I love that. And I love that you're on this mission, and kudos to you, my friend. Like, that's so beautiful that you've done this and you're continuing to help out. I love that. And will all your books going forward always have that donation if it goes through you? Perfect.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait until I'm like an old man with a whole stack of books I've written, and I'm like better known, and $1 is being donated for every book that's sold. And it's just like, I can't wait for that. Like, that's my life goal right now. So.
And that's what's great about being an indie publisher, an indie author too, because if you did trad, you couldn't do that.
No, not even close.
So I love that you're able to do that and that you are doing that. And so congratulations to you. Only reasons he can't do it the 2-day shipper is, yeah, right? That's what his wife said, is because he's not making much. But so, like, try to do the Shmeek and the Shmaya, wait for that TikTok shop so that he can get that and he can get the thing, and it's better that way. But
it's just better that way. Yeah.
So when I do your highlights, when I put you over on the YT, I'll make sure to say it's coming in on July 21st so I can push it for you. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing this. I've been excited. Hope you liked the videos I made. I always worry.
Great. Yeah, I saw that this morning. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Because it brought life into them, you know. Obviously it was AI made, I could tell, but like it's still really cool. I loved it. Yeah. So here you go, guys. This is the paperback version. Cover's great. But no, I appreciate your videos. Thank you for having me here.
Of course. Easton, let me drop you because you made a penny.
Oh, good. Drop me? Oh, you're gonna drop me and kick me out?
Yeah, because sometimes if you drop yourself, you lose your penny.
Oh, I don't want to lose my penny.
No, that's a penny you didn't have yesterday.
That's a lucky penny.
Exactly. Thank you so much for you and your wife for being here, and all your fans. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you to you and everybody in the chat.